Good afternoon. Notice of a public meeting of the Audit and Oversight Committee meeting November 7th, 2025. Pursuant to Texas Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the Audit and Oversight Committee of the City of Brownsville will be conducted on November 7th, 2025 at 12:15 p.m. at the City Commission Chambers located on the second floor, City Hall Federal Building at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Texas. Members of the public who submitted a public comment form will be permitted to offer public comments as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. A recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Chair, it is now 12:18. You may call the meeting to order.
Call this meeting to order.
Item 2, we have the public comment period. We did not receive any public comments, so we'll read the next item. Item 3, we have items for individual considerations, discussion, and possible action. A, approve the minutes for the following Audit and Oversight Committee meeting, October 3rd, 2025.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I approve the minutes as stated.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Motion passed.
Item B, City Auditor's Office update on. Item B1.
So as we covered in the last Audit and Oversight Committee, we presented the proposed audit plan, which was approved by the committee. And we have now developed the body of work that's going to, proposed body of work that's going to be in effect from 25-27 based on the risk assessment conducted earlier this year. We have top 5 themes that we'll be covering today, and all this information will be uploaded after this meeting to so citizens can access the full document and be able to see what we plan for the next 2 years. The top 5 elements that we're looking at for the future performance audits for this office are on the procurement side, purchasing cards. As you can see on the right-hand side are the audit objectives that we're envisioning. The procurement process as in its entirety, consulting services utilized by the city and anchored through ODHR, emergency management, continuity of operations planning, and take-home vehicles, again, anchored in the ODHR safety and risk. We always want to leave a emerging issue element to the audit plan, just in case something does get prioritized or completely from left field that the audit and oversight can suggest some work to be performed in this new emerging issue. So we go ahead and leave a placeholder for something that could happen between 25-27. Now, these are the remaining, you had seen the top 5 elements that we're concentrating in, but these elements are also part of the audit plan from the risk assessment in the 24 audit plan. They are not in order of priority. These are just elements that this office could also perform performance audits on that. And of course, the priority can be moved up at any time by the Audit and Oversight Committee, or we present an emerging issue that might prioritize these elements as well. And they're quite varied in IT, on the revenue recovery, it's finance side, accounts payable, volunteer management. So based on the risk assessment and again, the previous information from the 24 audit plan, these elements are remain. As we move forward through the years to come, some of these items might be obsolete, so they would get updated. And then of course, additional body work may be proposed that would augment the current list. And the non-audit service, the Yellow Book that our office follows, the Government Accountability Yellow Book on auditing, does provide the ability for our office to perform non-audit services. Part of that body of work that we will be performing for 25-27 are internal control reviews, and these are mostly surrounding receiving locations that have cash or cash equivalent items throughout the city. So this could be a receiving fund at the Brownsville Golf Center. It could be print copies at the library. Wherever there's a function within the city that receipts, we're able to do unannounced visits and and do the reconciliation of the account. We are also actively preparing for the fall fraud awareness training for management, members of management in the city of Brownsville. We have a December 10th date at the Southmost Library. We're going to have a morning and afternoon session, but we also envision providing any other training that we might partner with the department if they need a particular skill set that we can share with them. We'll definitely welcome an opportunity to provide that. We liaison with the external auditors as they do their annual audit, the financial audit. So that's ongoing, and we will be mentioning that in just a bit. Part of our function also involves a review of any tips or investigations that come in through our fraud hotline that is web-based or in person. And of course, we are always open to provide any kind of advisory services to departments if they have any questions on their internal controls or any new activity that may be needing additional internal controls. Our office is always available for that. So on those three elements, the top 5 elements, the previous from section, and then the non-audit services what we're proposing for the 25-27 year. Now we will be conducting another risk assessment next year, just to meet again annually with departments to hear them out, see what are some of the risks that are seen, and if there are any updates, then we'll come back to the committee and discuss some of the subjects that are emerging in 2026. So that'll be the end of spring that we'll go ahead and bring that to you guys. Do you have any questions on the audit plan or anything else?
It's a motion to acknowledge, I imagine? Is it a motion to
acknowledge? It was done in the previous meeting.
Yes, you don't need to do anything on that because you guys already voted on it the last time.
Oh, okay. And like I said, this will be on our website. We'll coordinate with IT to get this uploaded so the citizens can download that and be able to learn about what we're proposing. And of course, the previous plans are also on our website. So the 24 and previous versions of it will also be there.
Right.
I would say for the benefit of our new member, Mr. Bocadas, congratulations again. Just to kind of highlight how we came up with the ordering of the priorities of the audit plan.
Sure. So part of the process or risk assessment process that we do in our office is to do exactly that, assess the risk throughout the city. We achieve that by meeting with the committee members. We met with the individual department heads, executive management, to hear them out of what they're seeing in their universe as they're doing the work within each of their disciplines. And they shared with us some of the challenges that we're seeing, some of the things that they could envision that might be an issue in the future. So we took that assessment and that feedback, and we looked at the body of work that we could perform, which are performance audits, trainings, individual engagements in coaching or things of that nature, as we mentioned, the non-audit services. And then we brought this to the committee and said, these are the elements that we're seeing, and these are the body work we could address for this risk identified by the risk assessment. And some of these elements as are holdovers from the previous assessment. That's why some of them end with 24 and 25 are based on the initial assessment. We brought these elements and explained again the assessment that we conducted, and the committee was able to provide feedback on what they felt was the priority or the needs of the community at this time. And based on that assessment, we came with the top 5 elements. Now, within the top 5, depending on staffing resources and of course, ongoing risk assessment, some of these elements might be prioritized over another, but we'll definitely bring it to the committee first to provide the feedback on why a certain element might get moved up. But it was very much a collaborative effort between management and the Audit and Oversight Committee.
Item B2, AOC member vacancy status.
I'm happy to announce we have a new member today. And we're able to swear her in today, and she's if you'd like to introduce yourself, Ms. Rubalcaba, and
Well, my name is Susan Rubalcaba. I appreciate the appointment and I'm excited to finally be involved in the city on more on this side than just I guess a citizen advocate. Excited to work with all of you and I think we've already introduced ourselves and very excited to work with the audit employees and the attorneys and very welcoming. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
you're welcome aboard.
Item B3, professional development activities.
So as we mentioned in the previous, we have completed all our continuing education credits for 2025. So we're very happy about that. We're also been continued to do community engagement in and around the city. UTRGV invited our office to participate in their Internal Audit Student Association dinner on August 23rd. So had an opportunity to visit them in Edinburgh and meet the future auditors of Rio Grande Valley and Texas and beyond. Great group of kids. Audit professionals from other entities also participated. IA sent two representatives from the local chapter in San Antonio. They got to speak and meet with the students and kind of give them a one-on-one on what the internal audit means in the private sector and the public sector. So it was very, very rewarding to meet with them and speak to what we do in our efforts that we do within our community. We also were able to participate in the City of Brownsville Employee Health Fair, which, as you can see, Mr. Salinas was there getting his blood pressure checked. So good news, it's good. And we're, very, very pleased with the efforts that the city is doing to promote good health amongst the employees and citizens. And it was very well attended. It was very impressive seeing the variety of participant vendors. It's not necessarily a vendor, but of the different tables available. So a wide spectrum of services that they were provided. So we definitely very fortunate to have that activity.
Item B4, proclamation of Fraud Awareness Week, November 16th through 22nd.
As mentioned in the previous meeting, it is Fraud Awareness Week is approaching. The Association of Certified Fraud Examiners established that week as a dedicated time to raise awareness about fraud. The campaign asks that we step further into our roles as anti-fraud professionals to raise awareness about the importance of fraud prevention by sharing resources and starting discussions amongst our peers, employees, coworkers, executives, board members, and city council. As mentioned, that graphic, preventing fraud is not just the responsibility of management, the board of directors, the inspector general, and the audit team. Everyone has a role to play in prevention of fraud. Help your organization protect its finances and its reputation from harm. Be alert to potential fraud education and educate your colleagues on how they can be fraud fighters too. Since the last time we met on this item, we were able to create a hyperlink within our website that links to the state resources, federal resources, and local resources on fraud awareness, including the ACFE. And City Secretary was very kind in helping us produce a proclamation. The mayor has in front of him that if he'd like to read to help our citizens learn more about our efforts here.
Sure. Thank you, Arnold. So I do have this proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing International Fraud Awareness Week. Whereas this year marks the observance of International Fraud Awareness Week, which is set aside to raise awareness about the impact of fraud upon our society. And whereas the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, an organization dedicated to the mission of reducing the incidence of fraud worldwide, estimates that a typical organization loses 5% of its revenue each year to fraud. And whereas state, federal, and local governments are frequent targets of fraud, and instances of fraud in local government undermine the good work and reputation of all local government employees and decrease confidence in public officials. And whereas fraud against the City of Brownsville is a burden borne by its citizens and businesses in the form of increased costs, loss of public revenues and resources, and increased expenses associated with the investigation, prosecution, and eventual incarceration of individuals who commit fraud. And whereas tips received from employees are consistently the greatest source by which frauds are detected, and increasing employee awareness of fraud, including the magnitude of the problem, and educating employees about fraud prevention, detection, and reporting techniques is critical for reducing the incidence of fraud against and within the City of Brownsville. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby proclaim the week of November 16th through the 22nd, 2025, as International Fraud Awareness Week, done on this, the 7th day of November, 2025, signed the Mayor and the City Commission.
Thank you, Mayor.
You can take a picture now if you want. Typically, just stop. Close enough.
And as previously mentioned in other meetings, that the citizens have access to providing any information that they feel is relevant on fraud through our website and there's a form field to complete. We also have if they like to come in person to our office, they can come into our office and actually fill out a form and be able to provide that as well. So we encourage citizens to reach out if they have any questions, and we definitely we're here as a resource for them.
Item B5, ongoing preparation for annual fraud awareness training.
So we have the save the date with the department directors, and we are encouraging them to include any member of management in the city of Brownsville to come in on the 10th at Southmost Library and provide, get to know a little bit more about what's out there, the risk associated in government, and what they can do about it on minimizing the risk for the city. We hope they enjoy the subjects that we're going to present on. Yeah, we really look forward to it. Management, city manager's office has been very supportive about that as well. So we look forward to that.
Item B6, update on coordination with external auditors.
So we met this week with the external auditors, and they gave us an update on their meetings with finance. Everything seems to point to a final trial balance being provided by mid-December. Finance is working diligently and providing all the entries that they need to do to close out the year. And we also provided the 2025-27 audit plan to the external auditors for their review and any comments they might have.
Or they've been positive, so we look forward to seeing that.
Item B7, other items of interest related to the Office of the City Auditor.
Just a reminder to the public that our offices will be closed November 11th for Veterans Day, in observance of Veterans Day, and November 27th to 28th, Thanksgiving as well. Our offices will be closed. And just a reminder to the committee that you should be expecting in your inboxes an email or text the week before the holiday of December 5th meeting. Since we are transitioning to civic clerk, there might be some additional elements on that. But
Item 4, we have executive session. Chair, it is now 12:37. Would you like to motion to go into executive session?
Second.
Non-executive.
The following items will be discussed in executive session. A, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 552.1139 related to sensitive and confidential information. B, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 related to the fraud analysis and hotline concerns received. Closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 related to the Project Aberdeen. D, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 related to Project Sunshine. E, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 related to the Project Galveston. F, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 related to the ongoing internal control reviews. G, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.074 related to the one-year performance evaluation and compensation for the city auditor.
Time is 1:47. I'll entertain a motion to reconvene out of executive session.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are out of executive.
Item 5, we have possible action on any items as discussed in executive session.
I'll note that there will be no actions on any of those items.
Item 6, we have future agenda items.
Just to remind the committee that the previous member of the committee that is no longer with the AOC did vacate the vice chair. So for the December agenda, we'll go ahead and place it as an action item to designate a vice chair for the Audit and Oversight Committee.
Very well. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. We're going to sign it.